Welcome to Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. My name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. Our objective is to enthuse, inspire, energize, and empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes here in BW and beyond. We do so by inviting these entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs into our makeshift studio. Sometimes we call them to the restaurant, sometimes we go to our studio, and we ask them to share their experiential knowledge, their experiences and their expertise, and we ask them as many questions as we can, aimed at empowering you also as a viewer. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. As you can see, I'm super excited. That means that we're about to unleash another invigorating one. And as always, I plead with you to please strike that subscribe button. Not only that, please hit the notification bell. And I'm delighted to bring to you a very, very exciting guest indeed, Itumeleng Motsopa. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you, Mr. Mogobe. I'm very delighted to be here.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think the way to start off this is for you to give us a background, a short introduction about yourself.
Okay, so basically, I got into digital strategy by exploring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an explorer.
Mm-hmm.
I did many things in order for me to understand what I truly enjoy and what my strengths and abilities are. Mm-hmm. So first I was working at a internet service provider. I was a customer relations manager, and then I realized, oh wow, this is actually very interesting. Mm-hmm. And then I started going into doing my own thing, doing digital marketing. And as I went on, I realized that there's actually nuanced correlations between digital marketing and being a digital strategist, because digital marketing is the management of social media platforms and other different platforms, and being a digital strategist is basically the management of all digital platforms and the strategic implementation of different digital platforms, tools, and softwares. So basically, that's just how it started. I was doing customer relations management. I just saw that, okay, how do these things connect, and how can I combine them to finally get what I really truly enjoy?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
On the academics, what did you do?
Actually, I'm a dropout.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I dropped out of BAC because...
You're in good company, Bill Gates and several others.
Yeah, apparently it's not as easy, because education is very important. I'm still going to go back and pursue my studies.
Oh.
However, I've learned a lot in the school of hard knocks. It gets tough. So I've got a lot of experience, because I've been doing what I do for 4.5 years now consistently. Mm-hmm. I've never, decided, okay, this is doing well, like Forex, so let me be a trader, or this is doing well. I've been very focused on what I really truly love. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
What's your definition of digital, being a digital strategist?
So basically, my definition of being a digital strategist is, a digital strategist is it's almost like a doctor. Mm-hmm. You call a digital strategist to your business if you feel that you might be behind your competition, or you might want to be a pioneer of technological advancement. Mm-hmm. So when you engage a digital strategist, it's because you want them to get into your business and diagnose the most important aspects that need to be, specifically the pain points that need to be addressed. And then you basically suggest digital platforms, tools, softwares, whatever it may be, that's digital, like ERP systems, customer relations management systems, and marketing tools that can help you basically take your business from good to great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me, in terms of formal training, if any, or informal training, what you went through?
Formally and informally, I would like to say I studied in the YouTube of the University of YouTube. So
that's the best university there is.
That is the best university. Yeah. So I studied in the University of YouTube, and I think also another thing is that I realized from a young age I have a different way of learning. I'm a very practical person, so when I study, on one side I'm actually implementing and doing something, and that really helped me. Even when I started digital marketing, I think it took 6 months, and then BTV called me. They said, we need someone to do our digital marketing workshop. Are you available? And immediately I took the opportunity. Even though I only had 6 months experience, I did very well. They were happy. And, so I think, the University of YouTube has served me well.
So it was just really throwing yourself in there.
Throwing myself in there, getting dirty, learning about...
Everybody talks about Gary V. Is that the person I think you're modeling or not?
I would think so. Actually, he is my inspiration. He's the one that actually got me into digital marketing. And, it's been an amazing experience.
Is he your hero, and why?
I would say he's my hero because he's one of those entrepreneurs that is not really focused on himself as a personal brand, but he's also focusing on using his personal brand to leverage for leverage for his businesses, So I think he's very, very smart, the way he does business, the way he does things. And he's not the conventional businessman. He doesn't feel the need to have to wear a suit or anything. He really focuses on results.
Okay.
So I think I'm similar to him in that regard.
Let's talk about the newest baby, Threads.
Threads, yes.
What do you think about it, and what impact is it going to have, if any?
Threads is going to be big. Threads actually got, I think it was 100, or was it 10 million or 10 million users in 5 hours, and 100 million users in less than a week. If you put that in context,
it's gotten to 1 million already and beyond.
Yes. Like I'm saying, I think it was 100 million in a week, and 10 million in 5 hours, which is an incredible feat. And interestingly enough, because it's a direct competitor to Twitter, and Twitter only has 460 million. So for them to have achieved 100 million users in the space of a week, it's going to be incredible, especially for me as a digital marketing strategist.
The rumor machine says that Elon Musk is coming after Zuckerberg over this.
Definitely,
he says he stole from him.
Definitely, it's not a rumor, and you know what? There's nothing new under the sun. So I think Elon Musk should just relax, because as much as he thinks that the whole model of Twitter belongs to him, it doesn't. This is a free market. It's capitalism. You can start something today, and I can come and start something much better than what you did. So yes, he is coming for him. I think he filed a lawsuit or something like that, because he said it's too similar or something. But you know what? All's fair in love and war.
Okay. Now, one of the tools you use is AI, and we mentioned Nomsa earlier when we were prepping for this.
Yes.
How does AI enhance or help you as a digital strategist, and how can people take advantage of it?
Okay, so basically AI, it really helps me in terms of operational efficiency.
Both hands, no problem. Yeah.
Yes. So it really helps in terms of operational efficiency and speed. And the digital world that we live in, you have to be quick. If I can give you a practical example, recently I had a client who's interested in my services. He just signed yesterday, by the way, so he's a new client. And I was very quick to respond to him, and it's because of AI. He even asked me, he's like, whoa, are you using AI? And I thought twice, like, should I tell this guy? And I said, yes, I'm definitely using AI.
How do you use it to respond to somebody calling you?
Not to respond to his call. It's for me to actually deliver results. Because obviously I do digital marketing. He wanted my digital marketing package. So I had already been able to provide him with the marketing plan, strategy, budget, Facebook ads, and Instagram ad strategy, plan, and budget in no time, in a day. And that used to take me a week. The onboarding process used to take me a week, Mr. Mogobe. Now it takes me a day. And that allowed me to actually win the client over the next guy who was not using AI. Because he was very slow in his process. It took him long to send the contract. I was already done. I sent the contract. I already had 7 flyers or 7 pieces of content that were ready to go. So I sent, it was actually funny because I sent an invoice that was more than that guy's. But I ended up getting the job anyway because of the operational efficiency side of things. So, because that's what people want, you know? And I increased output as well.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Looking at an operation such as us, I'm sure you've studied me.
Yes.
And what we do before coming here.
Yes.
What do you think can be done, without revealing too many secrets, but what do you think can be done to improve our operational efficiency, to use your words?
Okay, so it depends, because Mr. Mogobe, you do a lot. Which business would you like me to use as a case study?
Pick and choose.
Okay, let me use a basic business model so it can appeal to everyone. Let's look at Black, your restaurant.
Yeah.
When looking at Black, I would say that a restaurant of this nature, if you wanted to increase your sales, I would say we focus on customer satisfaction and operational efficiency as well, but more customer satisfaction because of the nature of the brand. So customer satisfaction all goes down to how fast do you get the product out there to the people, or how fast are you able to close sales? Because obviously you do have many competitors, right? So let's say, for example, a friend of mine want to go for dinner and we're looking for a nice restaurant, and maybe you're busy that day, and then we call another restaurant, and then we call Black, right? In order to see who responds faster, because it starts from there, the customer journey. And that's the thing. So basically I would say that I would automate the customer journey in terms of using chatbots, because obviously when you utilize chatbots, using chatbots.
You mean automated responses?
Yes, automated responses.
Like WhatsApp and so on?
Yes, like WhatsApp and on Facebook, on your website, you know, because it makes things easier. When it's time to actually make a conversion, you guys focus on the conversions and actually driving the vision of the business.
Okay.
You leave everything else to the robots. You finalize the end result. So when you deploy a chatbot to your business, it can really help in terms of customer satisfaction. And let's be honest, that's the most important thing.
And how do you do that?
I do that leveraging AI tools like Landbot, BotPress.
Never heard of that.
Yes. They're very new, because AI is also it's quite a new thing, you know. But initially there were other platforms as well, because I've been using AI for a long time. However, it wasn't very viable as a business model, especially in Botswana. Because if I go to someone and I say I'm selling a chatbot, and maybe I charge them an arm and a leg, they'll be like, who is this kid?
Yeah.
They're trying to sell me something that I don't know about. You know. And back then I also did I didn't know how to justify it. Now I actually know how to justify the importance of, you know, utilizing a chatbot. So basically I use AI, Landbot. It allows me, and these days it's even easier. Chatbots have been around for the longest time. You know that, Mr. Mogobe. It's just that now it's a whole thing because of AI.
Well, I've heard people say a lot of things like GPS and stuff was used by the military secretly for many decades.
Yes.
It's only that the military now, American military, is releasing some of it. I don't know how far true that is.
It's very true, actually. I watched a documentary about how the army used to actually utilize AI for predictive analytics in order to predict when the enemy is going to attack, where they could possibly be, by leveraging AI tools. So it's
getting
quite
back to the business, you think chatbots can really turn a business around?
I think leveraging chatbots can really turn a business around, because now you can increase the intensity at which you market. You see, because at the end of the day, like, there's been businesses where, because obviously we live and we learn, you know, at the end of the day, even if you know a lot about a business, it's trial and error. So there's been businesses where I did brilliant marketing campaigns, but because of the infrastructure of the business, they didn't have enough of a workforce. They weren't able to leverage all the leads that I generated to turn them into conversions. However, now when you deploy a chatbot, you've got a whole army Now you can do more. You can focus on refining the product and the service, while you leave the chatbots to deal with anything that has repetitive tasks, redundancies. It avoids all those small things that aren't very necessary.
And what's the name of your company again?
Digital Marketing Systems Botswana.
Yeah, Digital Marketing Systems Botswana.
Yes.
Now, I want you to tell us of some of your successes. I really like my guests to shamelessly plug themselves. That's what we're about in this show.
Yes, definitely.
And giving a few examples, pre and post, in other words, before and after. Go ahead and tell us what you've done for clients.
Okay.
Without necessarily mentioning names.
Okay, no problem. So, since the inception of Digital Marketing Systems Botswana, I've had a very brilliant journey.
We'll just call it digital. We'll make it short.
Yes.
Since the inception of digital.
Yes, it's a very long name. Yes.
Yeah.
Since the inception of digital, I've learned a lot of things. However, my first 6 months, like I said, I immediately got a job at BTV to do the digital marketing workshop, which was amazing. I mean, I guess there were not many people doing it at the time, so it was what they call a blue ocean.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good one.
That's the type of business that I like to do. Yes. So after that, I started dealing with other small companies because my main vision was to be able to bring this sophisticated service to other people so I can empower small to medium-sized businesses. And then from there, I was engaged by Visa Africa to do a campaign for the Visa Offers program. Interestingly enough, I actually once came here to offer you guys
there
the
were tenants
service.
up there.
Yes. So
you came here to offer.
Yes, because it was like a Visa, it's an offers program that was trying to push people to swipe more.
Yeah.
Because even in times of
you mean that kind of visa?
Yes.
The ones I have upstairs are visa application folks. People to apply for visas to go overseas. So you mean visa as in the payment system?
I'm talking about visa as in the payment system. Yes. So they engaged us as well to actually we're the first ones to actually do the campaign in Botswana, just like with BTV. So I really believe that I'm a revolutionary, So majority of the things that I've done have been quite revolutionary.
So what were the outcomes in that case?
The outcomes look at BTV now. Some of the advice that I gave them, they have implemented. Even from the graphics and the branding side of things. If you look at it very carefully, I mean, there's certain things that they ignored, but just like reading a book, you only take 13% of what you
sometimes
what you read.
If that,
exactly.
Yeah.
So for the Visa Offers program, it was quite a difficult one because Botswana were very skeptical because it was within the peak of COVID. So, but it was a very great campaign. We managed to onboard six people, which was quite good considering the fact that it was a 3-month campaign. But yeah, we managed to, in contrast, the guy who was doing it in South Africa managed to get 60. But South Africa is a huge market.
Yeah.
So, but it
60 million versus 2.5.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look at it in terms of ratios, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Explain the term seamless integrations and by giving examples of how it works.
Okay. When we say seamless integrations, this is where we go back to the topic of threads. I really respect Mark Zuckerberg because he is the epitome of seamless integration. He understands that as a business person, I can own a business. However, there's other businesses that can make this engine work much better. If you look at it, seamless integration, we're looking at a perfect example is Meta. That is the epitome of seamless integration because Mark Zuckerberg started with Facebook, and then he went to Instagram, and then he went to WhatsApp, right? Now, if you look at it, do you know how easy it is to integrate Facebook, WhatsApp?
Yeah. Instagram, you just post and already it's at Facebook.
And it's already at Facebook. You see?
If you set it up.
So now Threads is another deployment to the army. It's going to make it's going to make things so much simpler, because social media is very overwhelming. From the outside, people look at it like, you're just posting or you're just doing content. No, there's a lot of strategizing behind it, techniques, strategies, always upskilling, because the digital world is ever changing. It's an ever changing landscape. So seamless integration really, especially for someone like me, a digital strategist, when I know that, when I'm suggesting certain platforms, the reason I'm suggesting them is because I know they can be seamlessly integrated to be able to reduce the cost for the client.
Yeah.
And also on my side as well, to reduce my work.
Yeah.
So once seamless integration is pretty much that. Yeah.
One issue that I want to ask you about is Facebook.
Yes.
And quite simply, I want to ask you to boost or not to boost. There are two schools of thought on that one.
That's an interesting one. So with my clients, I always tell them, do not boost. However, the reason I say don't boost, because when you advertise, there has to be an objective behind what you're doing. You have to know what you want from the advert. So when you boost, it's pretty much for brand awareness. However, now people misconstrue boosting with getting conversions. Someone will boost an ad and expect to get conversions. But there's different objectives on Facebook when you sponsor ads. So I would say don't boost if you really want to save your money. You can optimize. You can get more of a bang for your buck if you get a strategist to, even if they're not doing it for you, just get on a call with the marketing consultant or the digital strategist to ask them a couple of questions. That might be the best money you ever spent, because certain things you can just continue following up on them.
And that's the issue of SEOs as well, which I want you to touch on.
Yes.
It's always seen as totally mysterious by the likes of us. What is this thing of search engine optimization? Can you manipulate that?
Search engine optimization is brilliant. The reason I would say that is because I would like to use a practical example. For BTV to even know who I am, know about digital marketing systems, Botswana, was purely SEO. And for a long time, I have not been sponsoring ads. It's obviously because of many things, but for a long time, I didn't sponsor ads because I wanted to see how capable I am of marketing organically. Even though obviously, social media is pay to play, I do sponsor for my clients. But for myself, I use SEO because it's a long-term strategy. So basically, SEO, I would say that it stands for search engine optimization. And basically, what you're doing is basically the utilization of your words and the consistency of how often you communicate what your brand is about. So if you have an SEO strategy, basically you're putting out posts and you're making sure that those posts are well optimized in terms of the diction that you select. So it's also about articles. So you'll be writing articles, and obviously within these articles you're going to optimize certain things, keywords that are relevant to your business. Like if it's a restaurant, for instance, you'll be making sure you strategically factor in the word food there, everything that has to do with the restaurant. So it's just a strategic selection of word choice, but constantly making sure that you factor in your brand and all the content that you do, especially written content. Because obviously when you search engine optimization, you have to predict how someone searches. You see, even with your podcast, when people search for your podcast, you have to understand your demographic, you understand the psychographics of how they think, and that way it'll help you with your SEO strategy. You know that, okay, the likelihood of someone searching for something along these lines is this, and then that's how you optimize it. The name of the company is Search Engine Optimized, Digital Marketing Systems Botswana.
If I were to say to you, I'm tired of these numbers. We're right now crawling to 13,000 on YouTube.
Yes.
We want to be at 100,000. We're now at 44,000 on TikTok. We want to be 100,000.
Yes.
If I set you all these targets, are you able to say, if you give me your you let me take over?
Yeah.
This is a time frame within which I can reach these targets, and when I reach these targets, this is what you pay me Is there anything like that workable, or is it practical?
One thing I've realized from my experience in business, you can never think that you're gonna have one type of deal, because I think you're closing doors. You're not allowing yourself to be open-minded. Sometimes
by asking this question.
No. I mean, like when if I say that no, I don't do that. I want cash. Pay me up front. Because obviously with my services I do get paid up front. However, there's other people that will be like, can we work on a maybe commission basis or something? And if we can quantify it and it can work,
target base.
And a target base, exactly. And I like target base because for me it's really about, I need to challenge myself for me to grow. So it's easy for me to tell a client, pay me 5,000 a month on retainer. I want the money up front. These are the basic deliverables. That's where it ends. And then there's that, which I'm open to any type of business deal as long as it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Now there's algorithms.
Algorithms, yes.
Some people who hate them, some people who love them.
Yes.
And when it comes to things like Instagram, it appears that they are a terror to everyone. What is your take on algorithms, and how have you mastered them?
So, this topic on algorithms is very interesting. There's a fact of marketers who are absolutely obsessed about algorithms. And then there's marketers who are obsessed about customer satisfaction. For a long time, I was obsessed with algorithms. But algorithms and customer satisfaction, I always believe that customer satisfaction wins. Understanding your customer, it even goes to influencers. If you understand your followers, you know what to give them. It's just like in business, if you understand what your customers want, you know what to give them. So I feel that, algorithms, people like to say I was shadow banned. No, you were not shadow banned. You don't understand who you're talking to. It might have worked that time, but now it's no longer consistent.
What is shadow ban?
Shadow banning is pretty much like maybe if your content does not resonate with the particular platform, they no longer give you traction. Let's say if you were getting 100,000 followers, now you get 10,000. People like to say, it's the algorithm. I was shadow banned. No, it's not the algorithm. You weren't shadow banned. You do not understand your demographic. So for me, I was very big on algorithms for the first 3 years of my business. I've been running this business for 4.5 years. First 3 years, it was about algorithms. The last year and a half,
changing. That's a
they
problem.
keep changing. But one thing is consistent is understanding the mind of your client. Psychographics. For me, that's more important. So I would say psychographics over algorithms.
Yeah. You use very interesting words here. This iterative approach ensures that your campaigns are data-driven, adaptive, and continuously optimized for maximum ROI. I hope this is not a bot writing this; it's you. So, how do you explain that? How does it? What do you mean iterations?
Okay.
Iterative approach.
So basically, how it works is that we make sure that I'm trying to find the best way to articulate it. We make sure that we get into the core essence and deeper understanding of your business in order for us to make marketing decisions, and depending on what capacity you engage us for digital strategy or digital marketing. So basically what it does, it us getting to understand your brand on a deeper level helps us and you make data-driven decisions. So basically it's just a matter of like understanding the brand, and then that way it'll allow for better decision making, better operational efficiency, and just generally a better business and customer experience. Yeah.
Okay. There have been a lot of scams online lately. Are there a few that, as a person who spends all his life in this space, are there a few that you want to warn against the most? Scams.
So, scams, I think the biggest scam I'm just going to say on a personal and a business level. Okay, so on a personal level, so let me start on a business level. On a business level, I think I don't know if you're familiar with the gentleman called Hush Puppy, a Nigerian influencer.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yes,
I've
yes,
heard of
yes.
that name.
So that gentleman, they were called Yahoo Boys. That's what they're called in Nigeria. So basically what they do is they monitor conversations, and I remember you mentioned this in one of the podcasts against scamming.
Yeah.
They monitor conversations that you have within your company, and they make sure that they time it in such a way that it's believable, and they also use a similar domain. Maybe if it's Junior at Mogobe Incorporated, they might just say Junior dot at Mogobe Incorporated. So when I say, yeah, Mr. Mogobe, I'm waiting for that invoice for my digital strategy, they intercept. So they know how to intercept, and now they send you an invoice, very similar domain. They steal my letterheads and everything, and you believe, no, this is Junior. And you can imagine, if you're busy, you're not really going to do your due diligence over an email. You're constantly speaking to Junior. So basically what they do is they intercept your conversation, send an invoice, and then that's how they take your money.
And of course they'll say something to the effect that, look, that account number is still being audited, or use this new one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it sounds reasonable. It's very believable. And I think on a personal level, the small scams like orange money scams and forex scams, there are forex traders who are scammers, and there are forex traders who are genuine, you know. So it's one of those.
Seem to be more scammers than genuine ones.
Yes, they seem to be more scammers than genuine. Even the ones that are considered to be good guys, there's a lot of scamming going on, because I would think there's something called account management in forex. It's a very, very predatory. I mean, I have friends that do it. Account management is basically, if you have a forex account and you don't know how to trade necessarily. Let's say you, Mr. Mogobe, you want me as a young man who's into these things to trade for you, you know? So account management, I think it's predatory, because what it does is it exploits it exploits poverty. You know, if you're poor and you can see that one guy took $10, which is accessible to you, $10, and turned it into 10,000. You're very likely to go there. However, the thing is, these guys deal with multiple accounts. So what they're going to do is they take their multiple devices, take the one iPhone, because, you know, there's only two outcomes in Forex. It's either you buy or you sell. Obviously, there's other intricacies involved, but it's either buy or sell. So ultimately, it's buy or sell. So what they do is they're going to take Mr. Mogobe's account, they're going to take Junior's account, and it's just buy and sell. And they're going to open the valves, like they say in Forex, opening different positions. The one that loses. And it's no money back guarantee. So it's a risk. They give you a disclaimer that it's a risk. You only risk money that you're willing to lose, type of thing. But for me, I really think it's quite predatory. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I have tried Forex every now and then. I do dabble, but in my own personal capacity. I'll never use my influence or my, you know, my understanding of the digital world to exploit people. I'd rather trade my own money in my own capacity. Yeah.
Now, in terms of getting back to your core business.
Yes.
Before we leave the subject of scams,
yes,
do you put in place any kind of protections for clients, or are you able to assist in adopting a defensive posture to guard against these attacks or these scams?
Yes, definitely, and it's very interesting that you asked me this question, because we take cybersecurity very seriously. Because you can imagine, as a digital marketing company, there's a lot of confidential information that the client shares. I have access to people's bank details and their social media platforms. So in my own capacity, I have to make sure that I have VPNs and cybersecurity measures in place to make sure that
VPN stands for? I always assume ignorance when you talk to me.
Yes. I'm trying to remember what VPN stands for.
Is that a special
something
name?
Password network. I forgot what the V stands for. I think it's verified password network or something like that. Yes. But basically what it does is it helps with the protection of, you know, if it's just like your security guard. It alerts you if there's anything that's any nefarious things happening online. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, earlier we touched on the likes of Gary V, who are international.
Yes.
In Botswana, is there someone you look up to? Are there any GOATSs that you know of? Goats in Botswana?
You know, to be honest,
or even in Southern Africa, in Africa.
Yeah. To be honest with you, Mr. Mogobe, yeah? For a very long time, you have been that goat for me.
Oh, really?
Yes, I follow you very closely, hence the fact I can quote a lot of the episodes that I watch. And another gentleman I also really admire how he does business is Mr. Molf from Urban Soul. Yes.
Hence the attire. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I'm actually a brand ambassador there. Yes.
You get paid?
Yeah, I get paid.
Okay.
I'm a model, so actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the gentleman I came with, he owns a modeling agency.
Yes.
He's the one that discovered me. We've been good friends ever since. So I would like to think that it's Mr. Mogobe and it's you and sorry about that.
Molf.
It's you and Molf. Yeah.
It's good to know that I'm a goat. I didn't know.
Yeah. You are a goat. You are a goat. Yes.
And in terms of Africa in general, when are we going to have the Zuckerbergs, or do we already have them? People like Elon Musk of Africa. Okay, by the way, Elon Musk is from Africa.
Yes,
but
yes.
You know what I mean.
Yes, no, I understand.
Are we having those sort of people who are having that sort of impact?
You know, the people that you're talking about are from the Silicon Valley guys. Startup culture is not really, it's not yet there yet in Africa, but I'm seeing signs of it getting there, you know? And businesses like the one that I'm in, lots of them need startup capital. So at the moment, I have not really seen much activity. However, I believe that there are a lot of people with potential in Botswana. In my travels to South Africa as well, I've met very, very sharp people who I believe have the capabilities to be similar to them, you know? But yeah, I think we'll get there.
Have you interacted with the Botswana Digitization and Innovation Hub to see what they are doing in this space?
At the moment, actually, I saw a post on LinkedIn that the Botswana Digital Innovation Hub is investing in innovative and creative ideas. So I'm working on that now with a good friend of mine. He already has a company. His name is Byron. He already has a company that specifically focuses on innovation and technology. I think it's called Innovate Tech or something like that.
Yeah.
We just had the conversation recently, so I'm still getting acquainted with the names.
Yes.
But yeah, I've been paying attention. However, I really believe that for me to be in certain places, it's about timing, you know? So with due time, but I think this is the right time for me.
Yeah.
I've been watching from outside and admiring, seeing what other people are doing, observing, learning. Because, you know, even when you engaged me in January, I thought, no, I just need a little bit more time. You know, business is about patience. So yeah.
And right now, as we speak, we have the US Africa Summit, Business Summit.
Yes.
Young men like you, bright as you are.
Yes.
Have you not explored opportunities there?
I saw it. I think when is it? In September?
It's on as we speak.
It's on.
I was there yesterday, the last 2 days.
Oh, really? I think when I saw it, at the time I was extremely busy. Or maybe I'm mistaken the summit. I think it was like...
Maybe you're confusing the Forbes under 30 with...
No, not Forbes. I think it is the US summit.
Yeah,
I think it's like $600 for a ticket or something like that.
No, you have to be accredited, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Okay, some
maybe
of us have been accredited.
Yes, maybe I'm confusing it, but those are some of the things that.
Well, anyway, it still runs until tomorrow.
Okay.
So my suggestion is dash to where they are there in Tlokweng, and see whether you can't persuade somebody to accredit you quickly, because
Okay.
you need to know what's going on. And
Excellent.
And
No,
see
thank you for that.
opportunities.
I
Yeah.
definitely will do that, yes.
what are CRM systems? One of the things that you talk about here.
Okay, you see, when it comes to CRM systems, I would like to think I'm really a specialist at that, because my first ever job, I was a customer. Well, not my first ever job. Let me not lie to the people. I was actually a waiter, my first ever job.
Yeah.
But it really helped me in terms of understanding time management and everything.
Customer relationship.
It's customer
system-
relationship
management system.
relationship management system. So it was a nice transition from being a waiter to being a customer relations manager, and that was my first taste of the corporate life. So I was a customer relations manager for a internet service provider, which is a very customer centric type of business. So the gentleman initially, before I came, did not have the systems in place. It was just me and the phone, and it was tedious. I would take that phone home. Customers would be calling me, and it's network. It's never guaranteed. Today your internet can be very fast, tomorrow it's slow. But at the end of the day, it's a very sensitive thing, because even someone like me, when my internet is down, I'm fuming. I do not care what Mascom or Orange has to say, or BTC. I want internet, So it really taught me a lot about also how to deal with customers. I dealt with different people, and that's on a manual level. So I suggested to the guy, you know what, I think, for a long time I've been very interested in, back then it was ODM systems. They were a big thing, I used to read these ebooks, and I was part of the newsletter for IBM. So they always used to send ODM system PDFs. So I always used to read that. So I said, I think this can help if you can get a customer relations management system in place in order to improve your customer satisfaction, improve the customer journey. Now, he took what I said seriously, because it takes a lot of belief to hire a dropout and say, you are my customer relations manager.
Yeah.
So he already believed that I was smart, because I was helping him with sales every now and then, getting him a client. Then he would give me a commission. So I was doing his sales.
So which one do you then are you selling or putting in place at the moment? Which are a CRM system?
The current CRM system that I'm putting in place is because I've been using it for a long time and I understand it, is HubSpot. And
HubSpot.
it's well known. Yes. So
what does it do? For those who don't know,
HubSpot basically is a central platform. It's a business intelligence software. It's a central platform where you can pretty much integrate your social media platforms to it, and you can pretty much drive your leads to that platform. It's just a nice central place that makes it easier for you and your employees to find information in terms of like customer data, like numbers.
Is it difficult to set up?
It's not difficult to set up. Obviously, there's a learning curve to it. However, setting it up is quite simple. IT has been very simplified. That's why there's people like me. It's not like I understand coding and everything. What I do is I leverage the platforms that have been provided. So CRM systems is just some of the platforms that we leverage.
Yeah. Can you do something for a real estate company or a law firm?
Yes,
Talking about
definitely.
other businesses, what can you do?
Yes, definitely. You see, the automations and integrations and the type of platforms that you prioritize vary based on your business. So obviously I'll take your company profile and then I'll tell you, okay, from a social media side, let's say for instance, for a law firm, maybe Instagram is not the best place. Go on Facebook, go on LinkedIn, go on Twitter. You will find your clientele there. Just like with platforms, I cannot suggest a CRM system to a company that is not customer intensive. It doesn't deal with many customers. But at the same time, it can be utilized for many different things. So it just depends on the objectives of the company. Okay. So let's say for a law firm, for instance, a law firm, you constantly need to, because it's about trust, That's why you're not going to go and call your law firm another name. If you already have a good personal brand, if you call it Mogobe, it's just going to propel the law firm,
Yes,
it's about trust. So in order to build trust, you need to build relationships. And that you do, because obviously you do have clients that constantly go to you because they have certain legal issues and they've been your clients for a long time, right? So could you imagine if you had a customer relations management system that's just simply communicates with them, drops them an email every now and then, just like online we see when we sign up for the digital marketing newsletters or newsletters that are relevant to our fields. They constantly drop us emails. It's not really about the conversions.
Yeah.
It's about building the relationship. The conversions come after. You know? So I think it's really good for building customer relationships because you can have a personalized, and you can personalize things. It will literally, because your name is in the database, when I send one unified message, it will say Mr. Mogobe. It will say Mr. Motsopa. You know? So it makes you, it's got a personalized thing, and it's got a personalized touch, and personalization is very powerful in this day and age. You know? So I think it's very, very powerful. It can work for different types of businesses. It just depends on what your objectives are as a business. You know?
I want to go through the landscape of social media one by one with you and get into the pros and cons and your thoughts on how people watching can maybe be assisted by people like you. Let's start with TikTok. Your thoughts about it in terms of its positives, its negatives, and what you believe can be done there for the people.
Okay, TikTok is a very, very controversial platform. I like the fact that you asked me because I have very strong opinions about TikTok.
Which are?
I personally feel, from a social standpoint, TikTok is not really good for the people, because you know what I think TikTok has done is really dumbed down the youth because of the type of content and the duration of the content. You know, for me, I'm used to watching 1 hour podcasts and 1 hour tutorials on the things that I do. And then there's TikTok, where it's just breaking things down. So I think TikTok is one of the tools that can help you push long form content, but I don't think it's the best tool to really be on. I just post and I leave TikTok because it's
but you still use it.
I still use it. I have no choice.
Yeah.
Because that's my business, you know. So I think TikTok there's a lot of negative connotations to TikTok, also because of the CCP and its association with TikTok and how
they have assured the American Congress that the CCP has no influence at all, and that all the I don't know whether you call them systems are based in Dallas, Texas, or something like that.
Yes.
I followed the story on TV when they were grilling the
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. Because you know the thing about social media platforms as well, they can be very predatory. That's why data protection is a huge thing. That's why the EU is always slamming Google with bans and stuff like that, and sanctions, because social media.
All right, we've talked about TikTok. Let's go to Facebook. Pros and cons and your thoughts.
The pros and cons of Facebook, you know, I think like everything else, everything has its advantages and its disadvantages. For me, it's really about how do you use Facebook. You know, it's either you're using it for good, because it's a tool at the end of the day. It's either you use it for good or you use it for bad. You know? So there's obviously people that use Facebook for cyberbullying, all this other stuff, and there's people like you that use it for motivating people. People like me that use it for helping people's businesses drive growth using these free tools. You know, so it's really about.
So on the whole, you're neutral about Facebook, from what I gather.
Yeah, I'm neutral about Facebook.
What about the next one? Which one can I talk about? Which one comes to mind? YouTube.
YouTube is I think YouTube is a brilliant platform. YouTube is a brilliant platform. The way that is the epitome of what a social media platform needs to be.
You'll say that about your school, isn't it?
Of course, told me. Of course. I mean, you know, YouTube has helped me make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I feel like because they're very, very good at, you know, coming up with community guidelines and standards to make sure that the platform is conducive for all types of people to use. They're ever changing, you know.
The algorithms are ever changing.
Pardon? The algorithms are ever changing as well. The way they do things is ever changing. They always make sure that they evolve, even though, like, you know, because obviously YouTube Shorts was a response to TikTok. Because it was taking some of the following. So they're like, you know, if we can't beat them, let's join them. You know? However, you know, shorts are not monetizable, really.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things, you know? But yeah, YouTube is a very, very revolutionary platform.
I like it.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Let's talk about Instagram.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to grow a following on Instagram. Am I right?
Yes, it's very difficult.
Or it's difficult because I don't have someone like you.
You know what? Instagram is very difficult. I don't want to lie to the people and say Instagram is the easiest platform. Because it also depends. Because, you know, every platform has its own nature. That's why someone can have 500,000 followers on Facebook and then 50,000 on Instagram. And it goes back to what we were talking about before about algorithms and psychographics. On Instagram, you will grow if you understand the psychographics and the demographics.
But
you need to know.
It sounds like almost you have to have a PhD in rocket science to understand it.
I mean, you know,
you really have to know.
Really, it's not really about having to have a PhD in rocket science. It's just a matter of knowing where to go, knowing where your audience is. You know, because there's people that really grow on Instagram because that's their audience, but on other platforms, nothing. YouTube, one follower.
Why is that? What?
It's
have you not figured in the mystery behind it?
You know what the mystery behind it is, Mr. Mogobe? Instagram is a lifestyle platform. If you are not talking about something lifestyle, or it's not like what you're posting does not, you know, let me give you an example. On Facebook, I can post next to that car down there. There's a bush and everything. The aesthetics aren't nice. It can still do well because the people maybe just like me. And Facebook is an open field. But on Instagram, I have to make sure I choose my location perfectly. The aesthetics have to be perfect. The editing has to be world class. You know, it has to be like, wow, Junior's living the life. He's in black. He's enjoying. Then after that, I'm not going to document that I'm climbing a combi from there.
Yeah.
You know, that's Instagram. It's a vanity platform.
Oh.
So there's no rocket science behind it. It's just that as long as you know how to associate lifestyle to your brand, you can grow on TikTok.
Let's go to one of my other favorites, LinkedIn. What are your thoughts on it?
Yes, LinkedIn is my absolute favorite platform. That's where I get all my clientele. That's where I've built my personal brand. I mean, even though I'm a model, I would like to think of myself more as an entrepreneur. So I really focus a lot of my time and energy on LinkedIn. I post articles. I post on my personal profile. I post on my company profile, and it's done wonders for my business and just me being here today is a product of LinkedIn because you saw me posting articles.
My team did.
Of course.
Of course, I also talked to you.
Yes, no, definitely. For them to identify me, it was because they saw that
this man is serious.
Busy. There's activity. You know, I position myself as a professional there.
Yeah.
You know,
Messenger seems to see itself as separate from Facebook. Am I right? Because
yes,
they used to be interlinked, but now they are separated. What's going on there?
So basically, Messenger, it boils down back to seamless integration. What Mark Zuckerberg was trying to do is, why not have a platform where people can integrate it and it can be their central messaging platform, where they can get their Facebook messages on Messenger, where they can get their Instagram messages on Messenger, where they can even get SMSs on Messenger. So because you know, like I was saying, the digital playing field is it can be very overwhelming when you get deep into it.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to refer Messenger or something to, or anything associated to Meta, because I know that it's easily integratable. All their messages can go into one platform.
Yeah.
So the reason they did that, because they realized that this is a more powerful platform than we actually, utilizing it for. Let's utilize it specifically for messaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always ask this question about money because people ask me, you forgot to ask your guest whether he's swimming in cash. Sometimes I'm even asked to ask whether you are a millionaire from this, but I want to ask that one.
Yeah.
Monetization, is there wealth in this line of business, this business of social media marketing?
This business, especially in Africa, it's still new. So I would consider it a blue ocean. And that's just who I am. I'm very patient. I approach my businesses with humility. I understand that it takes time to build a business. I've been doing well for myself. I can afford everything I want. I can stay where I want. Because true success is not really about what people say. True success is within.
Within, yeah.
Yes. So I feel like at the moment I'm successful and there's still a lot of opportunity. There's still a lot of room for growth. I'm still young. I'm still in my 20s. I'm yet to turn 30. I've met countless executives, business owners. It's put me in places where I thought I would never be. I never thought I'd be sitting here with you right now. But because of that, I'm here.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. I'm also glad I'm here.
Yeah. All right. Now, someone watching there thinking, all right, these guys, I can hear what they are talking, but this is not for me. And somebody says, look, I want to get into beast mode. By that I mean to really be impactful and do things. How would you advise them to post, and how often and in which platforms? If you really want to give yourself 12 months, say, look, I really want to boost my brand over the next 12 months. What would you be advised? What strategy would you ask them to put in place?
Okay, so let me just break it down into personal and for business, because it's different. I think personally, one of the best platforms, even though I was not the biggest fan of it, and I don't think I ever will be, is TikTok, because the TikTok algorithm is still ripe. They're still giving people a decent reach for no money at all. Yeah. So I think that TikTok is one of the best for personal brands. Yeah. And depending on the type of influencer that you are in your personal capacity, obviously Instagram is wonderful. If you're going to sell that lifestyle, then Instagram is powerful. And also Facebook, yeah? I guess Facebook is one of them as well. And for business, I would say the best platform is LinkedIn first, because that's a professional platform. So obviously that is number one. And the next one, weirdly, is Twitter. I know Twitter has a lot of controversy surrounding it, but the amount of leads I've been able to generate for clients through Twitter, because it's a text platform, and there are a lot of people, especially the age demographic on Twitter.
I don't understand Twitter myself.
Twitter is really about short and impactful quotes, trends, news,
politics,
articles, politics, So there is a very influencer side on it, but there's a lot of business as well. You can learn a lot on Twitter about current affairs and everything like that. So it's a very good platform. So people who want to know about how the economy is working, what's happening in the business world, and just generally what's happening in the world, Twitter is one of the best platforms. It's not focused on the aesthetics. It's purely focused on text. Yeah.
And how often should one post?
On Twitter?
On all of these?
On all of these, you should post every day.
Is it?
You need to post every day.
Because make people understand why it's important.
The importance of posting every day, you know what? Every day is an opportunity for someone to engage you for whatever you do, be it being an influencer or being a businessman. Why would you miss a day to be able to put yourself out there, Because at the end of the day, it's brand awareness, and people only engage people they're familiar with, People maybe there's another guy who does what you do, Mr. Mogobe.
Yeah.
Exactly what you do. But because you have a podcast, you have credibility. So posting every day gives you credibility, and it's familiarity. So as much as you do this every day, keep on doing it consistently. A podcast is a very powerful vehicle. It helps you meet with industry professionals, industry leaders, And it also builds your personal brand, but also builds your businesses. It's one of the most powerful vehicles. So I would think that, yeah.
Okay. I want to ask you the crystal ball issue or question. If you look down, let's say 10, 15 years down the line, even 20 years, what do you see happening with brand Itumeleng Motsopa, or even the company digital?
Okay, so I'm a digital enthusiast. So I don't see myself getting out of the game. I would like to start a holding company called the Digital Solutions Group. That's my ultimate vision from 10 to 15 years. The Digital Solutions Group is going to have multiple different businesses. Obviously, I'm not going to have full ownership of all of them, because money is made in numbers. I'll strategically select my partners as I go, but it's going to be called the Digital Solutions Group, and I'll have digital marketing systems, Botswana is the core business, and there's just other digital businesses that I would like to get into. Like the biggest one is digital transformation and innovation, but that takes a lot of experience and time. So as I'm going through being a digital marketing expert, a digital strategist, it gives me more insights into different businesses, how they operate. And then from there, obviously, now I can position myself as an owner of a digital transformation and innovation business, because in business you really have to be hands-on. I'm not to say you need to micromanage, but you need to be hands-on. You need to understand what you're doing. So when you engage other people and when you develop processes, procedures, and policies, it gives you a stronger understanding, and your business is more likely to do better. So I see myself owning a bunch of digital businesses in the future, be it AI, marketing, different platforms, because I really, really enjoy marketing. So I'm thinking of engaging Botswana Innovation Hub to do a marketing platform that helps businesses grow and also allows for economic inclusion. Basically, it's just an affiliate marketing website. But how it works is that it's helping businesses grow and it's helping the community grow. So I really have...
It's a form of giving back.
Yes, it's a form of giving back as well. I don't want to just do business to just make money. I want to build meaningful platforms. It's not the most profitable platform. However, there are profits involved in it. But one thing for sure, I'll help businesses grow and I'll help the community grow. And that will be my service to society. And in my personal capacity,
also as a model.
Yes, as a model as well. So I have different personalities. As a model, I'm Junior the Great. As a businessman, I am Itumeleng Junior Motsopa. So as a model and just as a public figure, because I have a very clean brand, I don't talk rubbish on social media. I'm still a businessman at the end of the day, so my image is important.
Keep it clean.
But as a model, as Junior the Great, I would like to, because I have albinism, I would like to position myself as a public speaker so I can motivate others and show them that, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter your disabilities, you can achieve and you can be great.
Maybe you can join Executive Speakers Bureau, which I'm a part of.
Yes, I should. I should.
But you have to be able to speak. You have to be able to be confident.
Exactly.
But so far, so good.
So far, so good. I'm getting there. Like I was saying, it's about patience. Those are things that I will definitely get involved in. So when I go and speak as well, I speak through experience. I can use case studies, things that are relevant. I don't want to use other people's experiences. I like to use my own experiences. But yeah, I'd like to see myself as a model, and just in my personal capacity and my personal brand, just being a motivation to others from a business perspective and just from multiple different facets of life. It doesn't mean that because I started as a model doesn't mean I cannot be a business person. I can still be in between and still enjoy both worlds. I can still enjoy both spectrums, but still be a serious guy, but at the same time I'm a model, and balance them. So I'd like to be able to push that as well. Just motivate others.
I think we've covered everything. What I'm interested in is to know whether you are planning to expand beyond Botswana.
Definitely.
In terms of the 15-20 years, and if so, is there any game plan there?
definitely, I'm planning to expand beyond Botswana, and I definitely already do have a game plan. I have strategic partners that I've engaged in South Africa, because obviously South Africa is like the USA of Africa, you know. So I've started building strategic relationships with cybersecurity guys that side, analytics guys, because it's all part of my big plan, you know. So I'm just, you know, I think I would like to use an example. I don't know if you've read the book by Jim Collins, Good to Great.
I've read that too. Yeah.
Yes,
I've read
yes.
them, yeah.
It's a very brilliant book, and there's something that he said. In life, there's two people. There's a fox and there's a hedgehog. I would like to see myself as a hedgehog in the digital realm. Hence the fact I say in the next 10 to 15 years, I'm still going to be the same digital strategist, you know, but with billions in the bank, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to, you know, I don't want to be a fox. I want to be a hedgehog, you know. And the reason he said that is because a fox is very crafty, very cunning, but not consistent. A hedgehog has one skill that they master, and they will never lose because of that. Because that is their thing. That is their
relentless
niche.
and focused.
Exactly. Relentless and focused. So I like to think of myself as like, even though I started my business very young, I never got lost. And my friends started doing Forex. I was like, relax. Or others started doing other things. I said, I'm a hedgehog, my friend. You know? So
that's good. Time for you to hit me with a question.
Okay.
If you have one.
I didn't come ready with a question, but I think the best question I can ask you is, looking at your conglomerate of businesses, what efforts have you made to start in the process of digital transformation and innovation? Because obviously we live in a digital world. What steps have you taken in order to...
Well, apart from myself dabbling into it, and as you said, you've seen me on a lot of media. I do have a team, like the gentlemen who have a full-time editor who edits our clips, and then I work with a videographer on a full-time basis. Well, I don't say full-time, I mean at least once a week we shoot this program. And then we do have another guy who's responsible for marketing. His name is Leo. And I'm trying to empower them to come with ideas.
Leo, is he a photographer?
He does photography, but he's not mainly photographer.
He does marketing as well, right?
Yes.
I think I know him. He markets cappuccinos. He's a good friend of mine.
Yes. And then of course at Black have their own army of, well, when I say armies, I'm get 3 or 4 guys who are constantly running around. I know them because they're constantly asking for payments for things they've done. So I've recognized that without digitization and without marketing, you're as good as dead. So we've been very active in that field. And when you are talking to me, I'm just looking for opportunities to collaborate. You see, I've been picking your brain. And I'm just wondering out loud what opportunities there might be for us to collaborate so that we can grow the brand even further, and also help with some of the things you're saying about CRM, you know, and so on and so forth. So that's my 2 cents as to what I'm trying to do.
Excellent.
Excellent.
No, you're doing a very, very good job. I enjoy the podcast, like I said. Keep it up. Keep inspiring us youth, you know. When we see you, there's different types of people. We have influencers that some of us admire, and then some of us admire the likes of Mr. Mogobe. That's how we end up here. That's how we end up growing. So keep it up. We love it.
Look at that camera, sir, and leave the viewers there with one final motivational wrap-up message.
Okay. So what I would like to say to the viewer is the most important thing in life is resilience. I strongly believe that if you are resilient and you make sure that you consistently follow your mission, your vision, your goals and objectives, you will forever achieve what you want to achieve. So I think that's pretty much it. Just be resilient and be consistent.
Okay. Let them know where they can reach you, all the contacts, including physical addresses, please.
Okay, no problem. In terms of physical, I work from home. And in terms of where they can reach me, they can find me on LinkedIn, Itumeleng Junior Motsopa. On Facebook, my personal profile is Itumeleng DMS Motsopa, and my page is Junior the Great. And on Instagram, they can find me as Junior the Great One. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you've done a brilliant job, sir.
Thank you very much.
So much. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay.
Yes.